Don't use black to darken your colors. One of the things that can mark an amateurish painting is a drab, dull quality to the colors. And this usually happens when the painter is using black to darken their colors. Some painters will say never use black, but I don't agree with that. I do use black in my paintings, but I never use it to darken a color. So you say, I can't use black to darken my colors? What am I supposed to use? What you're supposed to use is the complement of that color. And you say, what the hell is a complement? And now we get into a little color theory, but it's going to be easier and simpler than you think. First of all, complement is not flattery. That's a compliment with an I. This is a compliment with an E. And the word complement means something that completes. So the complement of a color is the other color that completes that color. And by completing that color, what we mean is mixing the color and its complement will actually create gray. What it does is it removes the color. Now I'm going to explain to you how to find the complement of a color. The easy way. You could use a color wheel, but you don't really need a color wheel. All you need to know is what are the three basic primary colors? They are red, blue, and yellow. So say you want to find the complement of one of those colors. How do you find it? You remember what the other two are and you mix them together. Let's start with blue. What are the other two primary colors? Yellow and red. Mix them together and you get orange. Thus, orange is the complement of blue, or you could say blue is the complement of orange. What about red? The other two primary colors are blue and yellow. Mix them together, what do you get? Green. Green is the complement of red, or red is the complement of green. There's one left, yellow. What are the other two primary colors? Blue and red. What do you get when you mix them together? Purple. So purple and yellow are complementary colors. You can see all this by just looking at a color wheel and looking at what's across from that color on the color wheel. But you don't need a color wheel. All you have to do is remember the complement of a color is the other two colors mixed together. So now you know how to find the complement of a color. You might be asking now, so what? What good is that? Is that useful knowledge? If you're a painter and you're mixing colors to make a painting, it is very useful knowledge. Let's say you're painting a lemon. You know how to mix the color that's in the bright part where the light is striking the lemon. It's just yellow and probably some white. But what about the shadow on the underside of the lemon? How do you get that color? Here's a hint. You don't use black. What you use is the complement of yellow, which is red and blue mixed together, which is purple. So you add a little bit of purple to your yellow, and what happens? It gets less yellow and starts moving toward gray. What it turns into is the perfect color for the shadow on the underside of a lemon. Let's try another fruit, an orange. What do you do for the underside of the orange where the orange color gets darker? Guess what? What's the complement of orange? Orange is yellow and red mixed together, so the complement, what's left over? Blue. So blue is the complement of orange, and if you want a shadow color on an orange, you add a little blue to your orange. And what you get is the perfect color for the underside of an orange. So let's try another fruit, an apple. What are we going to mix to get the shadow side of this very red round object? What's the complement of red? The other two colors mixed together? Blue and yellow make green. So you add some green to your red, and you come up with the perfect color for the underside of that apple. So now you know how to darken a color, not using black, but using the complement, and you'll end up with colors that are much more true to life and have more life in them. What happens if, say, you decide to add a whole lot of the complement of that color to the color? Say you have half and half, half of the color and half of its complement. What you get is gray. Quite often, when you look at a painting that's full of bright color and you look more closely, you'll realize that there's really not that much color there. There's a lot of duller colors, grays and browns, etc., in between the bright colors, and that's what makes the colors look bright. Just knowing about complementary colors and being able to mix all these different versions of the color and make it more gray or more brown or more bright or less bright, it's going to make a huge difference in your painting. As for black, yeah, use it once in a while and when something in your painting really is black, but mostly you're not going to need it. And by the way, when you do need it, my favorite mix is ultramarine blue and burnt umber together. That makes a really nice black. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has convinced you to not use black to darken your colors. Use the complement instead. And now, put on your painting pants or your smock or whatever, and go mix some paint.